Welcome to Orion Now. Today we'll be joined by representatives from Oakland County Parks, and we also will have a segment with Orion Neighborhood Television. Stay tuned for this episode of Orion Now. Welcome back. Our first guests today on Orion Now are two representatives from Oakland County Parks, John Noyes and Dan Stencil. Gentlemen, welcome. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you coming on. We have many great amenities here in Orion Township that we're proud of, but one of the most we're proud of is our partnership with Oakland County Parks. So first off, I want to kind of look at globally. Talk to me a little bit about Oakland County Parks and overall in the county.
Well, Oakland County Parks is a real treasure for county residents, and we have 13 parks. They all end in oaks, so it's easy to realize you're in an Oakland County Parks. We're also blessed by the fact that there's over 89,000 acres of parklands in Oakland County. That could be DNR, could be here in Clinton Metropolitan Authority, but the parks that we're here to talk about today that really makes Oakland County a great place to live, work, and play is Oakland County Parks. And Orion is one of our larger parks. It's 927 acres. It features 10 miles of trails, a dog park, 91-acre Lake 16, which is great for boating and fishing. So there's lots of things to do for residents of the county as well as all the residents here in Orion Township.
Right, and coincidentally, Orion Oaks is my favorite county park. I don't know, just the way that worked out. But so yeah. Anyway, we're really blessed. I think I know that you said 13 parks, right? 13 county parks, and one of them is in Orion Township. There's 62 municipalities in the county, so not every municipality is lucky enough to have their own county park. So we do. We let our neighbors use it a little bit. But we'd like to order it. So tell me a little bit about, first of all, before we dive into Orion stuff, your involvement, what you do for the county park system.
I'm the executive officer, and we have over 60 full-time staff people and almost 600 part-time seasonal employees. And we operate on a $26 million budget. And we do try to work collaboratively with the 62 units of government in any ways possible to make recreation opportunities as equitable across the landscape of Oakland County.
Right. And how do you get your funding?
Our funding is through a $250,000 tax levy. We were established in 1966, and in 2 years we're going to be celebrating our 50th anniversary, and I would love to have the opportunity to come back, and if not before then, to talk about the great things that we've got planned for 50 years of Oakland County Parks.
That's great, and I knew the answer to that question, but I don't know if everybody knows that. And if you look at your tax bill, you'll see it's a very small dollar amount for most people, and I think if you actually use the parks, it's a lot of bang for your buck. John, tell me a little bit about what you do for the county.
Yes, I'm the Supervisor of Planning for Oakland County Parks and Recreation, and I'm fortunate to work with a number of individuals who have been really trying to bring the planning process actually in-house for Oakland County Parks so that our staff can play a greater role in working with the local communities and identifying how we can best meet the recreational needs here in Oakland County.
That's great. Yeah. And so we have, we've had some ongoing conversations. I have residents all the time. We just completed our Parks and Rec master plan, and so we're hearing from our residents we need more soccer fields, we need more baseball fields, and there's ways I think that we can probably partner together to maybe work on some of those initiatives together. So let's talk about Orion. Tell me what's going on with my favorite park, Orion Oaks, and tell me, give me some. I know there's a little bit of construction activity over there in the winter.
It's home of the first dog park in the park system, actually created in 2000, and it's got about 22 acres of land that's in 3 separate dog parks so that we can rotate the the spaces to keep the turf up from
Right.
all the dog activity. But probably one of the most popular assets of the dog park is the swimming area, the Bark Park Beach, where the dogs actually can swim in the lake. Their owners can't, but they can, and they have to keep their clothes on. No, not really.
The
But
dogs or the owners?
Yeah, right. So dog parks, we currently have 3 of them in the system, and we're looking at expanding dog park opportunities countywide. There's a number of special events that we have at the park, as well as we just built a pavilion where it can be rented for birthday parties,
Weddings.
weddings,
Weddings at the
Dog-
dog park?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
And dogs are.
People take them
They're-
serious. You know,
okay.
I have to admit, I lived here for a while before I realized that what was there and that I could take my dogs, Boomer and Thunder. Have been to the Bark Park many times. So again, it's a neat place, and if you're watching this and you don't know, your dog actually can be off leash and run free with
Yeah.
a lot of other dogs, and it's sort of like controlled chaos. The owners are supposed to be sort of in charge, but it can get a little out of control sometimes. But most people generally are
Very conscientious.
very conscientious. People,
We've had very little conflict with
Right.
dog owners and dogs and so on, and it's a great place for socializing.
And actually, I think that's, and that I think is really the part that we want to stress. When first proposing dog parks,
Yeah.
that was kind of a question a lot of folks came to us with is, so now you're in the business of creating recreational opportunities for dogs. We're creating social opportunities for dog owners.
Right.
And it's important not to forget that part of a healthy lifestyle and an active lifestyle is being social, and creating opportunities, places where people can gather is important.
Right. I think that's awesome, and one of the things that's been most enlightening to me is I meet more people from outside of Orion when I go to the dog park, and I call it the dog park. I know it's Orion Oaks, but we call it the Bark Park or Dog Park.
Yeah.
But then I meet people from Orion. I meet people from as far away as 30, 45-minute drives that literally put their dog in their car and drive to Orion Township because a lot of people that have dogs that like to retrieve love that. The dock is awesome.
Sure.
The
Yeah.
dock where the dogs can just walk right out of the water
Yep.
is really cool. It's amazing. It's an amazing amenity that a lot of people in our community, it's a kind of a hidden gem, even though it's right here down the street, So
Yeah. We did MSU did a study probably a half dozen years ago and found that the dog park was a great place for people to meet. And the number one user was, I think, females between 25 and 44. And one of the things that they said, it was a great place to meet other people.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So a little love connection at the
yeah,
dog park.
possibly.
That's why now there's a pavilion.
Yeah, where you can have weddings.
I see the business case here.
Yeah.
This is coming together now.
Right, and we recently just installed a ticket booth, an electronic system, so you don't have to wait for our staff there to buy a pass. You can actually buy it through the pay station.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, and so let's talk a little bit about that. The usage. So there's a fee to use the park, and you can pay. Tell me about how you can pay to use the park.
Well, it's $5 for a individual visit, or $30 for a county resident for an annual pass. And going back something about the tax millage, it's about $25 a year for someone that owns a house that has a value of $200,000.
Right.
So it's a real value to have the county parks.
Absolutely, and the $30 annual pass is good for all the parks.
Yes.
All the parks that end in Oaks.
Yep.
So it's a great value if you use them. We have Independence Oaks, which is not far from here as well. Addison Oaks, which is also not far to our east. There's some awesome amenities. I like to ride mountain bikes, and there's some great bike trails. Talk about what's next. What are some of the next things that you're working on, if you can share them, and some of the master, the planning ideas you're working on?
Go ahead, Jeff.
Well, we're still a couple years out from redoing the master plan for Orion Oaks. Donna Folan, a remarkably talented individual, is taking the lead on all of our master planning now for the parks. And she's been working real hard to actually really come up with a whole new concept for public engagement, working with U of M Flint. And so that's something that when we get ready for the next master plan for Orion Oaks, will really involve you and your residents much more than we ever have in the past.
And we'd love to use this show as a means of getting the word out that we are looking for ideas for the master plan, and those things that you mentioned about soccer fields and field sports. We see that countywide as being a need where the county could partner with local units of government to make that happen.
Right, and I think that that's something I'm huge on. I'm still relatively new in my position, and I lean heavily on the resources of the county. And I mean, you guys have so many things to offer municipalities, every single department. We're talking about parks now, but from top to bottom, and it is a great resource, and it doesn't make sense for us to redesign the wheel or reinvent the wheel. So it's a great resource. Tell me, all right, let's go a little different direction here for a minute. What's your favorite amenity in all of the county parks? What's your favorite thing to do? John?
My favorite by far are boardwalks and trails. You have to, my original background was actually in natural resource management.
Okay.
I was one of the geeky kids who just fell in love with science and everything about the out of doors. And in part it was because as a kid I was brought to parks to go on trails.
And I was an Eagle Scout, and the same sort of thing, just being out of doors and trails. And
so we couldn't pick two better guys then to run our county parks then. It sounds like a couple geeks that like outdoors.
We love the outdoors.
Well, and one of the things that we've been passionate about is if you have the responsibility to be a steward of the resources that we have within the county park system, how do you maximize access but still be sensitive to maintaining the quality of those environments? Right. Oakland County Parks has actually not just been a leader, but an innovator in actually technology associated with constructing boardwalks. Mike Donnellan, our amazing Chief of Design Development, and his team, working to create just some remarkable access so you can get out into the wetlands without destroying them.
That is an awesome advancement. And all right, so you didn't give me your answer. What's your favorite?
I'm a trails guy.
Trails?
I love to run cross country, just being out of doors, and I live adjacent to Independence Oaks, so I've got 1,100 acres right out my back door that I'll snowshoe and take hikes quite regularly. So
that's great. So we got a lot of, and one of the things you touched on a minute ago, I want to circle back to is public engagement. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I liked is I was involved personally in one of your public engagement sessions last year, and I like the new mission, or maybe not the new mission, but the defined mission of, look, we want to have the resource, we want to put our resources where the most users can benefit, and so that puts, trails come right to the top of that list.
Absolutely. Number one need and number one activity is related to trails.
Right.
So to that end, we have led the effort of creating an Oak Roots vision for the county, of connecting all the green spaces and downtowns across Oakland County.
Right. And we're really engaged in that as well. We have two trail systems that come through the township, or the Paint Creek Trail, lost my train of thought, and the Pollyant Trail. And we are really highly engaged in trying to connect those two trails, but also connect them to our parks. We also have quite a bit of DNR, state parkland.
Right. And all your safety paths.
Yeah, and we hear that from we hear that from our residents as well. We have a dedicated safety path millage that residents are willing to pay a little bit of money every year to help improve our system, which is really it's a great thing to see. So, all right. So what else? What else do you want to cover? Anything burning that you want to talk about with Oakland County Parks that we should know about, or anything you want to talk about your favorite community, which would be Orion, right?
Well, annually, the County Parks System, the Commission, which is 10 appointed and elected officials that govern the Commission, they created we call it our RAP program, our Recreation Assistance Partnership Program, that we provide no cost, low cost recreation opportunities through our mobile recreation, which is quite innovative, that actually takes recreational programs and puts them on wheels and brings them out to the community. So we have inflatables and climbing walls, and we're hoping to acquire a zip line in the future. We have buses that transport individuals to recreational opportunities as well.
We take advantage of some of those programs. But I just recently learned that that's actually available for rent as well.
Yes.
So private individuals that live in the county can have an event. You can rent the bus. You can rent the rock wall, correct?
Exactly.
And so so they can go to the website and find out how to do those things.
destinationoakland.com.
Great. Okay. Well, we will send people that way. Well, listen, I want to thank both of you for taking a little bit of your time out to come and talk to us about the great amenities we have here in the county. And also thank you for putting a little bit of investment back into Orion Oaks last year. We appreciate that. We're looking forward to seeing what happens in the pavilion. And so stay tuned for our next segment where we'll talk about all the great things happening at Orion Neighborhood Television.
Have you ever been to Rome, Italy? You will have an opportunity when the Friends of Orion Township Public Library hosts their annual Passport to Spring Gala on Saturday, April 26th from 7 to 9 p.m. at the library. Come and enjoy delicious food, wine tasting, continuous musical entertainment, fabulous prizes, and an evening out in Rome with your friends. This event raises funds to provide the programming budget for our library. Last year, the Friends donated over $20,000 to the library to support library events, programs, and equipment. Tickets for the Italian extravaganza are $40 per person or $75 per couple. Get your tickets early before April 19th, when the price will increase to $45 per ticket. Tickets are available at the Orion Township Public Library and at our website at www.orionlibrary.org/friends. Call us for more information at 248-693-3000, extension 350.
So welcome back. What an awesome first segment. A lot of great things happening in our parks. Now I'm going to talk to you a little bit about one of my favorite hidden gems right here in Orion Township that I think many people don't know all the amenities and things that I have to offer here. I'm talking about Orion Neighborhood Television. You're either watching this right now on YouTube or you're watching this on channel 10 or 20 or 99, depending on your provider. But I'm pleased to welcome Locke, who's the Executive Director for Orion Neighborhood Television. And just want to talk a little bit about some of the amazing things you guys do, which I am learning more every time I sit down and talk to you. Yep. Just the vast number of things you guys provide here. And really, it's pretty much open to anybody. So I want to get this out there. We got to get people engaged and knowing what's here. So Ian, first of all, thank you.
Well, thanks for having me on, Chris. ONTV, we've been in the community for 20 some odd years as different names through the years. But as ONTV, we're always expanding, we're always growing. We have the new facility. We're going to celebrate our second anniversary here coming up in June, I believe, which is
2 years already.
I just cannot believe that. But ONTV is, I hate to think of us as a hidden gem, but we are kind of fly under the radar sometimes. If you don't have cable, you might not come across us that often. And
we're getting more and more people engaged, especially now you're in the new building.
Yes.
We have this beautiful set. We're actually sitting right in front of Lake Orion. It's breezy out here a little bit, but no, actually we're in a building.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. It's a beautiful state-of-the-art studio. And
Correct.
I think obviously that's a big upgrade from where you came from before.
Oh yeah, definitely. So with the new facility, when we opened, we didn't know what was going to happen. Are we going to have a flood of people coming in? Or was it going to be the same type of traffic we had at our old studio up on Lapeer Road? Boy, did they flood in. The word of mouth has spread to different communities. We have people coming in from out of the Orion area to take classes with us. We have younger students coming in, middle school age, to, I think our oldest volunteer is in his 90s. So, we have all age groups represented. We have, the classes are filled in all across the board. Every time we have them, they are just packed to the gills. So We are very, very pleased. New episodes. Our studio is busy all the time, which is great. The old facility, we did more productions outside the studio. We were sporting events, parades, concerts, and the like. But now the studio is like the epicenter of ONTV. Everybody's coming in, making programs like yourself, and it's just been really, really, really exciting. So.
It is. I think that the other great thing is you're doing a lot of new initiatives. I know you've been the executive director for
not even a year.
Not
it was
even a
last July. So yeah, our longtime executive director Diane Griffiths retired in July, and I was lucky enough to attain the position.
That's great. And so tell me, I want to talk about a few of the new things, then I'm going to talk to you about a few of my favorite things that people might not know about, but tell me some of your new initiatives that you're kicking off.
Well, we're always expanding, and you can only offer so many television shows, the studio can only do so many things, but we're expanding more onto the online aspect of transmitting media. And one of our new initiatives is the local voice. And if you go to our website, you can click on we have a link right at Local Voice, and what it is a local news blog. And it's basically public access on the web. So public access here traditionally is a studio setting where people come in and speak their mind, dance around, do art, whatever they want for the most part. But now we have kind of a print version of it. It's not quite a newspaper, it's more of a blog. But we already have contributions from a lot of our volunteers, nonprofits, submitting articles, media, video. We even have audio files being submitted by one of our volunteers, Kevin McCormick, and then he does it every week. And so, it's kind of all-encompassing everything but television. So you can submit, and it's really kind of gaining traction. We just launched it this month. And we've been talking about it for probably a year to get something new and exciting up on our website. We've retooled our website so it's easier to navigate. But the local voice is really exciting for us.
Yeah, I just stumbled upon it. Somebody shared a link. I clicked on it. I'm like, local, what is this? And it's all like local news. So it's really cool.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I'm an admitted skeptic of public access. Growing up, it was kind of hokey. We had the movie, I think, what was it, UHF or something?
VHF.
VHF,
Yep. Weird Al Yankovic.
Weird Al, that was my vision. And my experience here with not just you, but the entire staff, top to bottom, interns, the level of quality of product that comes out of this place is literally like what you would see on major networks, in my opinion. As far as this show is obviously my favorite, but just the level of quality, and you got Joe Johnson and Joe Velez and Tracy and yourself, and we got the interns, and just the talent is just
there's
off
a lot
the
of people
charts.
that are making this happen. And public access in the past has had certain connotations, like you're mentioning there. But for me, I see a station like this, an entity like this, as a community television station. It's not public access. It is public access, but there's more to it than that.
Right.
And you have to have quality to draw the viewers. We're in competition with networks, local television, all that stuff. The 1,000-channel universe we live in. We are in competition with those eyeballs. The good thing is that we're hyper-local. We're right here in your town. We're a little entity in Lake Orion. It's not the big cosmopolitan city. It's a nice little village in the Township area. So you have, we really focus on quality, making sure that you can't discern public access from something that is produced, let's say, by ESPN. We really take pride in our sports coverage, and everything we do that we throw out there, it has to look proper and it has to look professional.
That's great, and I think we lead in that category. I've seen some other local accesses that lag a little bit, and I think that they pick our brain, which is a testament to you. I know a couple of our neighbors in particular are constantly asking me, how do you guys do this? I saw your program that you shared a YouTube link, and how do they make it look so good? So
we work together with other access centers from Clarkston, Independence, Township
well, that was
area.
the one I was not going to mention, but you
well,
did.
I know, and then Oxford and Waterford and CMN and Troy. I mean, we are a group together. We have the same vision. We have the same goals. So we do work together to try to.
Okay, so let me drill down into a couple other things.
Sure.
How are you funded? So where do you get your revenue stream from?
Our funding comes through cable subscribers. So there's franchise fees on your bill if you see, and PEG fees. And what it is, it's a contract between like the township and the cable companies for the right-of-way to use right-of-ways to hang their cable and charge a service. So those fees are negotiated, and they come to the township and then move on to our cable commission, which administer those funds out to services like this.
Right, and we're a little different here in Orion because we actually turn those right over to Orion Neighborhood Television, where a lot of other communities kind of put it in their general fund, and then we're going to give you a little bit. And you know what? I think maybe that's one of the reasons why I think we do have such a strong program here, and I'm an advocate for because I see firsthand. So that's one of the things I get asked that question quite often. How much of our tax dollars are you spending? Well, really, we're not.
No, and it's a portion of the profits from the service provider in our area.
Right.
And this setup we have where all the franchise fees and all the PEG fees come to the township and back onto the cable commission, it really does allow us to offer a higher level quality. You can pay staff a little bit more. You can have a nicer facility. We can offer different services like the government streaming on demand, which is the most popular thing in town.
Right.
People are very involved in their government, in what's happening here. So.
And we get so many. All our board meetings are televised.
Yes.
Live and also archived for basically forever since they've started recording them. So. It is. We utilize them as a tool all the time to say, hey, I look at the minutes, and we talked about this in April of 2012. I can actually click and within about a minute be watching the exact conversation of how.
And people have busy lives. It's hard to get to that meeting. It's hard to get to that school board meeting or even a ZBA meeting, on a Monday or whatever. But having it on demand is very, it's convenient. You can watch it anytime you like. We have it. And we're upgrading those services here in April to offer multi-platform streaming. A lot of people are saying, "Where's the Apple and the iPhone?"
I cannot watch from my iPad. I'm just saying that we're working on it.
But that's coming. So
I'm not going to beat you up too bad. Rapid fire. Couple quick questions here.
Okay.
What's your favorite show? And I know you can be biased. You can't say I like them all.
I'm partial to sports, so Dragon football.
Dragon football is awesome. Between Taramina is a weekly talk show on sports.
Live,
and man, Anthony and Sammy and Ian, I mean, they know local sports. It's cool, man. I can turn that on and watch and find out about.
They are encyclopedias of Lake Orion.
So that's one of my favorites, even though they call me out a little bit. MWO Wrestling, you set up a cage in the studio.
We do. There's a ring that is assembled here, once a month, and the guys come in and they put on a show beyond shows. I mean, we actually have a live studio audience that come in. They ask, well, how much are tickets? Are any tickets left? I said, no, there aren't any tickets. You just
bring more people.
Yeah, come on out. We even held it outside when the weather was nice. So we're looking to do that again.
That's really cool. Yeah. So how can, I know you have a big push to try to get more nonprofits and more people using the studio. Let's wrap with that. How can people get involved? How can people use the amenities that we have
here?
So
ONTV isn't just entertainment and sports. We're here to help get information out to the community. So with the nonprofits, you can just contact us directly or go through the chamber, the Orion Area Chamber, and we actually have a program dedicated to nonprofits, Orion Outreach. And you can come on in, tell us your vision. It's hosted, edited, we handle it all for you. If you have a ribbon cutting for an event coming up, we'll help promote it for you, make commercials that we can run PSAs on the air, try to get the information out. We are your local television station. So.
Well, great. Listen, thank you for taking a little bit of time to kind of tell me what you do here. And I knew, but it's an awesome, awesome thing here. So please contact Orion Neighborhood Television. And thank you so much for watching this episode of Orion Now. Can't wait to see you next time.